The host of today's NAMM breakfast session is a marketing rebel, branding expert, and customer engagement guru. He's transformed companies ranging from Microsoft to Pepsi with his radical insights. Please give a warm NAMM welcome to Scott Stratten.
That was the worst round of applause I've ever walked out to. So, you all preoccupied? Is that what you're saying? Hi. Hello. That was also terrible. Great. We're starting off really well. Excuse me, getting ready for your bacon. So what if walking around the trade show yesterday? I do this for a living. I do like 60, 70 keynotes a year. So what I'm saying is I don't have a job. That's the full sentence. I don't know if you know what this means. That means full stop. There's nothing further. And most of the thing I speak to financial planners and accountants or dentists, and usually I'm the only like this at an event. And this event, I am out tattooed, out bearded, and out haired. So congratulations. Well done. It's the only event I've also not been mistaken for being a homeless guy walking into the hotel. So this is formal for me, by the way. This is my tuxedo. This is about as formal as I get. So what can I tell you about me? I'm Canadian. That was a really long pause. What's wrong with you? I come from my country, bearing a message for your country. So, how you doing? It's pretty tense. You can join us anytime you want in Canada. We're almost done building the snow wall, so you need to hurry. It's too soon. It's too soon? I'll hold back that one. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I also used to be in the music business. So notice, by the way, less applause for that than Canada. So I got out of the music business when I realized I had to make a living, so I left, and it was an industry joke. You get, because you don't. So I used to manage bands in Toronto. You haven't heard of them, that's why I don't do it anymore. But everything, like unmarketing, the core ideas of unmarketing were created based on what I learned in the music business and trying to fill venues and clubs with fans or potential fans. This was in the late 90s. So we used to, instead of taking the door cover charge of $3, we'd ask for somebody's email address. But our question was not, give us your email address. It was, do you have an email address back then? And people were saying to me, you know, when the book came out, somebody else a few years ago said, I'm going to come out with a book and call it Unmarketing. And he was part of a corporation. He was a digital director of Pepsi. And he's like, I'm going to do it. And I said, I already wrote that. And somebody else said, yeah, but he actually, you know, has a job. And I'm like, give me a $30 million marketing budget. It's fairly easy for me. Give me zero budget and fill the Horseshoe in Toronto, the club, on a Wednesday night with 150 people. That's more impressive to me than selling 1 million bottles of Pepsi. Oh, and then be playing the following Tuesday at a different venue and then fill that one. So I understand that. That's my passion is actually about in the music world. 2 of our kids already want to go into be producers, even though I've told them not to, and they want to get into the business. So what I'm trying to say is this is a bucket list event for me. So I'm so excited to be here. I don't actually say this to everybody, but I'm really excited to be at NAMM. No, but really, I'm really excited to be here. So what this means, unmarketing, unselling, and unbranding, what that means is, other than it's an awesome untrilogy of books we have, is that it's branding and marketing and sales is not when we think we're doing it. Branding and marketing especially is a very simple concept. A brand is simply when you see something, when you see a logo, when you see a person or a band, or you see even an album cover, whatever you think, that's the brand. Right? It's not what I think of myself. It's whatever you thought of me, by the way, when I walked on stage. Whatever you thought of me when I walked up here, you're right. I think, depending on what you're thinking right now. What word popped into your mind, other than you thought I was a roadie when I walked up here, or the sound guy? What props to my sound guy, by the way. I once did an event, this is last year, and I was backstage like this with the Countryman on, and I'm back there, and the CEO comes running over to me. He's like, hey, do I use the podium mic or should I get mic'd up? This is the universal sign for mic'd up. He's like, should I get mic'd up? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, I gotta go introduce the keynote. I'm like, I am the keynote. He's like, oh, I thought you were the sound guy. I'm sorry. I'm like, Jeff, you saw me speak 4 months ago. That's why I'm here today. He's like, it's dark. I'm like, that's no excuse. And he's like, please, whatever you do, don't bring this up on stage. I'm like, yeah, yep. And I walked out. He's sitting right there. I'm like, you'll never believe what just happened. And he's like, I'm like, the check cleared already, dude. You're done. I got the mic, man. You got all the power in the office, but this is my world and my stage. So shout out when I walked out here, shout out some words you thought when I walked out. What were you in for today? Give me some words. Go ahead. Homeless, thank you. It's very funny. That's called a callback. Well done. I like that. Right. So somebody said hipster, which is a very politically correct way, ma'am, of saying you think I'm high right now. We did just make it legal federally, so, and it's legal here. I'm so hungry. How's that bacon? It's really looking good right now in front of me right now. It's very tempting. But the point is, whatever you thought right now, you were either thinking like, oh, well, I can finish breakfast and then leave, right? That's what some of you were thinking. In the back, I see you at the back. Yeah, I know what you're doing, and I'm watching you. A quick bail to the exit. Or you're like, let's see what this guy is going to talk about. And my job now is either to overcome a stereotype you've got in your brain about me or reinforce those stereotypes. Psychologists say when we see a logo, we think two things. Our most recent experience with the brand we've had or heard, and the most extreme experience with the brand we've had or heard. So when you see like a Ritz-Carlton logo, what word comes to mind immediately when you saw that? What pops in your head? Luxury, service, expensive. You are in the music business. That's awesome. Yes, very costly. Yeah, it's a little much. So when I see the Ritz-Carlton, not one of you, by the way, said, I see a severed lion's head impaled on a crown. Look at it. It's what it is. It's a violent logo. So when I see it, I think of the last time I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, which was a few months ago, and I think of Joshi. Now, Joshi is a giraffe and a poorly stuffed one of that, and he was left at the Ritz-Carlton Resort at Amelia Island in Florida, where they're staying, and they flew home to Phoenix, where they live, and they realized they forgot Joshi. What happens when your kid loses their favorite thing? Do you hear that? That's a low-grade mumbling in the room. Those are self-identifying parents right now. How many of you have kids that you know about? That you'll claim. Under pressure, you'll claim they are yours. Right, so Allison and I, we have 5 kids. Now, do not applaud for that. It's minimal work on my part here. So, the youngest 3 are Allison's, the oldest 2 are mine. We had a merger a while back. It's more of a hostile takeover, to be honest with you. We had to let a few kids go. We had some redundancies. We had to reduce headcount. We are a stronger family now, a more efficient family, and frankly, a more profitable family at this point in our life. Less on the payroll, it's better. And the remaining children are just happy to still be on the team. So they work much harder and to get paid half is what they should be getting now. So the point is, you know what happens, right? Your day is done, and anybody within a mile radius of you, their day is done as well. So the father did what any good father would do in this scenario, and he lied to his son, and he said that Joshy was on an extended vacation, which is a good call, Dad, except now you gotta find him, right? You gotta find him or buy another one or learn how to sew. So he calls the Ritz-Carlton up in a panic, and he begs and he pleads and he prays that they found him. And they did. He was rolled up in the sheets, and somebody working in the hotel laundry found him and brought him up to the front desk and said, this is important to somebody. And not only did they find him, and not only did they overnight him back to the awaiting child at no charge, but they also sent back photos of his extended vacation. Do I have to add anything to this? I don't. Joshy meeting new friends at the bar. That dolphin is inappropriate. Last night I was wandering around the lobby, and if you're sitting in a circle of your fellow music business professionals and you can't figure out who in that group is the inappropriate dolphin, you're the inappropriate dolphin. It's just math, kids. That's how that works. Right, this is Joshy working loss prevention because he has to pay for his extended stay. And now that he's an employee of the Ritz-Carlton, they gave him an ID badge. Laminated, by the way. If you didn't say "ah" just now, you're what's known in the industry as a psychopath. If somebody right now beside you is not smiling, let's switch seats right now. It's probably not the best person to be hanging out with. They took Joshy, a letter from the general manager, the photos, and the ID badge, and overnighted it back to the family. When you see the Ritz-Carlton logo, give me a word that comes to mind. Awesome, Joshy. Still expensive. It's not going to change. Do you see how your view of a brand can change from a story? A story that didn't happen to you? A story that didn't happen to me. I read about it on a blog post that a friend of mine read and shared on Facebook. We all want word of mouth for our business, but we forget the one thing that makes that happen, which is doing things worth talking about. A boot. We all want it, but we tell stories. That's how this works. We share stories. We share brand statements, our stories, not the one you've come up with, not the one that you've got. Your brand statement is the stories we tell. Like, what do you think the father did when he got the package? Other than change his pants, what did he do? What would you do? You tell everybody, right? He couldn't wait. He told the neighbors, he told the family, obviously. He posted it on Facebook, he blogged about it. I need something more relatable to your industry. He faxed people about it? Does that work? Are some of you borderline booing a faxing joke? Are you really attached to that? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. But the point is he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to tell people. I tell everybody this. This is the opening story in every one of my talks. I've told this story to hundreds of thousands of people. It's the opening story in our book, Unselling. That's been read by tens of thousands of people. How much does it cost the Ritz-Carlton every time I tell it? How much? $5,000, yes. I have to disclose that I'm being paid to talk about. I'm not. It's not $5,000. It's $7,000. It's free, right? It's free. That's how this works. I thought it was so amazing, I couldn't wait to share it with everybody. It is the most talked about story about the Ritz-Carlton. Well, how do I know that? Because I tell it. That was a joke. Forget it. Whatever. Tweets. This guy's a jackass. You know, no, but the point is we tell it. I cannot wait for this story to get out there. I cannot wait to tell people about it. And my favorite part of this story isn't even the story. It's the authors of the story. It was a front desk clerk and a laundry worker two of the lowest paid and lowest appreciated people at a workplace are the biggest brand creators, which is the same as your business. Whoever's dealing with the public the most, whoever's dealing with customers or clients the most, they are your branders. They are the ones, and the Ritz-Carlton believes in their employees so much, they call them the ladies and gentlemen of the Ritz-Carlton, that they give each employee the ability, the authority of up to $2,000 per guest per incident to either make right or delight with no approval from anybody else. Now, I don't mean they're walking around with like a fat stack of cash making it rain or something like that, although that would be amazing. I would stay there even more. But the point is, do you think they feel trusted? They feel empowered? Yes. That's the difference. It's no fluke. They're known for service. That's not magic. They hire good people, they train them well, and then they trust them. If you want to improve the bottom line, you improve the front line. That's how that works. That's how that whole world works, okay? The point is they made the animal change in a billion-dollar company from a lion to a giraffe. 2 frontline workers. Well, 2, 1 behind-the-scenes workers and 1 frontline worker. They are your brand. I want this up at all your places. Maybe not this, it's creepy, but something like this. They've got to know. If you're running a store and a customer walks in, they've got to know that they're important to it, that we're branding every single time they walk in that door. But it's changed in the past 10 years especially. This world has popped up, right? This is overwhelming to me. And I told you, I'm unemployed. For 17 years now, I've been unemployed. You know what I'm doing after this talk today? Nothing. I have nothing on my schedule except that party tonight, that jam session party that's here. Do you have passes? I need 1 pass for it here. So I will bribe everybody here to find me that pass. Please. Please. So this world here, this world is my world here, and I live in this world. This is my jam. This is how I got known. I was the most influential Canadian on Twitter until Bieber got on there. I checked the numbers. It's close still. It's not even remotely close. I have 187,000 followers on Twitter. I've tweeted over 110,000 times, all manually, nothing scheduled. We have almost 70,000 people on the Unmarketing Facebook page. I have 18,000 connections on LinkedIn. I only know 3 people in real life. I don't know who these other people are. So I can't keep up with these places. I don't know how you can. Can this help a store? Sure. Can it hurt it? Yeah. Nothing inherently works. It's what we do with it, right? It's what we do with these things. It literally is an instrument, right? You hand me a guitar, it's just going to sit there. I have no idea what to do with it. I'm not a musician. I was a singer. So you see what I did there? What, are we all singers now? What are you doing? Is it killing you that I'm up here and you're not standing up here? Is that how it works? I don't understand. So no, I was kidding. So I just fired the band and I stayed on stage. That's how this works. I don't have to split it 5 ways now. I can't believe I just made a singer joke. But the point is this just like an instrument, it doesn't inherently work. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't play. It's what you do with it. These were my instruments. And I knew how to use these well for the time I was using them. But it's overwhelming. We're like, Scott, we got to get the store. We got to be on a digital. We've got to be prepared because the millennials are coming. And we got to be ready for them like they haven't arrived yet. Us older people, we say the word millennials. We say it when something just upsets us, right? You go to lunch today. If you see kale, you're like, millennials. Back in my day, we had iceberg lettuce with no nutritional value. It was a canoe of transferring ranch dressing to my face. That's what that was, with little floating croutons. That's what I was using the iceberg lettuce for. I did not eat 1 piece of it. You're walking by, you're like kale and quinoa, and over there. 40% of the audience got the quinoa joke? Okay. All right, we're working with it. Got to warm it up a bit. We're cool. We say the word millennials and we don't even know what we're saying. Millennials are actually between the ages of about 19 and 37, depending on the data you look at. Who in this room is between 19 and 37? Put your hands up for me. Oh God, you're here. Okay, I was told it was gonna be fellow old people. I'm gonna switch it up. Okay, so millennials in the room. I'm going to translate what us older people mean when we say millennials. When we say the word millennials, hiring you, working with you, selling to you, what we mean is people younger than us, and we don't like you. There's nothing further. I have no insights on that. That's just fact. It's not you, it's you. It's you. It's just you. Look, all we want is for you to suffer. Like, the only time Allison and I see our kids at home is when the Wi-Fi goes down. Right? They all come out of their rooms in unison, right? Is the Wi-Fi down? Who am I kidding? I'm the one coming out of the room. Is the Wi-Fi down, children? Can somebody go reset the doohickey? I want to watch the Netflix TV. Who are you? You're my son. You do not look like your profile picture. You should update that. Like, from a recent one would be nice, yeah. I don't want to talk anymore. Let's go, we'll talk on Chapsnat later. Let's do that, all right. 30% got Chapsnat, cool, all right. Quino, Chapsnat, we're good, we're getting there. Please do not write, fellow old people, do not write down Chapsnat as an app to connect better with the kids of today. It's not gonna go well. I can't find it in the App Store, it's not there. It's okay. So, but this is the point, right? And that we just want you to suffer and feel pain because your stress isn't the same as ours when we were your age. The kids freak out when the Wi-Fi goes down because they can't stream their Spotify playlist. Do you have any idea how we used to make a playlist in our day? You got it. I'll give you 3 words, right? Play, record, and pause. If the DJ would shut up for a second, because the top 8 at 8's on, and I think I hear Salt and Pepper Push It, and that's my jam. There it is, be quiet. And you plays and you get 7 songs, you flip the tape, you record 7 more songs, and you take your mixtape and you put it in your car and you listen to it for 11 years. And then the kids freak out when their phone dies. Have you had a mixtape die? Cruising down the street, you're like, yeah, boy, you really got me. Take it out, and you take it out, and it's a spider web of tape, and you're like, somebody give me a pencil. Why does it hurt so much? I don't understand. And then you wind it all back in, and there's a warp in the tape now, which then becomes your remix of a song, right? You're like, boy, you really, you got me so. You're like, that's my jam. That's my jam. And then you hear it on the radio, you're like, that's not right. It's not right. They don't have that part. We just don't get it. This is the problem. We've just gotten I'm so tired. Just so tired all the time. And what it's done, and millennials, and I thank you, because it's brought together 2 foes, 2 groups that did not get along in the past. Gen X, my group, and boomers. We come together to form a slow and sore Voltron to go against these young and very fast millennials in our bitterness, beauty, Mount Everest together, right? It's just that, look, we get it. I'm gonna give you the difference between generations right now. Gen X in the house, let me hear you. Go ahead. You hear that? It's kind of muted a bit. We're like, I don't understand what's happening with my body. The hair growing out of your ear, like not your ear, like here, like this spot of your ear, right here, one hair. This morning, I shaved a hair that was here. What the hell is that? It's like an eyelash that didn't make the cut. It's like, oh, forget it. Boink. What is going on? I am sore from doing nothing. And then I do something, sore again. I don't get it. Boomers, let me hear you. Yeah, right? Drunk. They figured it out. Yeah, they figured it out. Millennials. You're the worst. Yay, opening keynote, let's do this. I woke up this morning, doink, took it out of my, that was me taking the hair out of my, I'm not even gonna explain the hair out of the ear joke again, I already used it. But this is the problem, this is the point, is that we've brought us all together. It's formed this Voltron. Gen X, by the way, when I see you guys later, like at the trade show floor today, I want you to flash me the universal Gen X sign, which is the X at the hip. The reason why we show it at the hip is millennials won't see it, they're on their phone. Boomers won't see it, they lack peripheral vision to catch. As long as you don't move, they work off motion. They're like the T-Rexes of our world. And they'll walk by slowly, right? It's okay, they didn't hear the joke. So, but the point is, it's gotten to the point, and one of the reasons why we've banded together is because the millennials are taking credit for ideas that we invented, that we came up with. They're like, yeah, Scott, we got this right. We got this virtual reality stuff. Put these goggles on, and it's brand new. And I'm like, hang on, no. We invented that, thank you. I too can go anywhere in the world, as long as on one of these 3 scratch discs I've got. I swear, for 20 years of my life, I thought the Great Pyramids had a scratch down the center of them because of this is my reference to how these things worked. Yeah, but we have these speakers now, Scott. These devices will talk to you in the home. I'm like, nope, wrong again, that was us. That's 76-word vocabulary out of the box, people. That's how that worked. But it's gotten to this boiling point. We've gotten furious, and you see now there's sessions and books and how to deal with them and how to hire millennials and how to do it. So I read this article online. It said, I'm fed up with the ceaseless carping of a handful of spoiled, self-indulgent, overgrown adolescents. This is a generation that was raised with the highest standard of living in the history of the world. We have a generation whose every need has been catered to since birth. Now when they finally face adulthood, they expect the gift-giving to continue. But the whiners want everything now. A generation raised on the principle of instant satisfaction simply can't understand the concepts of long-term planning and deferred gratification. What's their reaction when they don't get what they want? That's right, they throw a tantrum. Most people live ordinary lives of quiet desperation, stuck in uninteresting jobs they're afraid to lose. If you want more than that, move out of your parents' houses, start working, and for heaven's sake, stop whining. You will not want to applaud this. As much as you think, old man, that this is amazing. This is from Newsweek, October 31st, 1993. Oh, I got you. Millennials, I got you back. Why? Because we were the millennials 25 years ago. We are Gen X. As we said back in the day, hello, ladies. How you doing? Obviously, this was my audition photo for Lord of the Rings. You'll notice the Jostens watermark stamp on the left side of the photo. Yeah, my people over there. That's my people there. My mom wouldn't pony up the $9 for a print. The reason being was this was a graduation photo set, and we weren't sure Scott was going to graduate high school at the time. So this was peak Scott. This is me at 18. This is lead singer of a metal band in high school. We did Pantera, we did Megadeth. We even threw Primus in just to mix some people up. It was amazing. This was peak Scott, and this was the peak of my knowledge. I knew everything that day, and every day since then I realized how little I know. But this was peak me. Gen X in the room here. What was being said about us then? Lazy, entitled, don't want to put in the work, always glued to a screen, a computer. Slackers, that was the biggest word there. If it was the slacker generation. Millennials, what's being said about you? Lazy, entitled, don't want to put in the work, always on your phone. It's just the law of the land. Every generation hates the younger generation. My grandfather hated my father. My father certainly hates me. And I hate our children. I don't. We have 5 incredible children. We've won the lottery like 5 times with them. They are incredible and awesome. I hate your children. You need to parent better. Have you seen them? They're the worst. They're the worst group of people. But this is the point. We've always hated them. This is how it works, simply for the fact that they are younger than us. That's it. How do you hire millennials? How do you retain them? First off, just pretend that they're human. Let's just go with that. Let's just run with that rumor for a bit without a clarification or any sourcing of it. Let's just pretend they're human. What did you want out of a job when you were 20? And is it different than you are when you're 45? I hope so. But just remember what it's like. What was it like to work when you were back there? Well, you know what? They just don't want it. It's just a job to them. Yeah, that's the word. It's a job, and they don't all want to stay in the music industry, and that should be okay. Well, Scott, I got my start, though, as part-time retail. Yeah, great. I know. You made 83 cents an hour. I get it. And you worked your way up. Congrats. You're the only one that did in that company because you're the one in that spot now. It's okay if they don't have the music pouring through their veins and their life's dedicated. Maybe it is just a job. We can still make it good. We can still feel valued. I don't care what age you are. You still want to feel valued in a workplace. Still your value for your knowledge and your contribution. Yes, they should just shut up and do the job. But do you like working for that person? Did you like working for that person back then? No. That's the problem. Is there a difference between the millennial generation right now than when we were that age and when boomers were that age? Was there a difference? Yes. The difference is disruption. Disruption is not just a fancy word to get me keynote gigs. Disruption is simply change without time to resist it. Back in the day, we used to have time. When change was happening in industry, we just built walls around us, and by the time the change was fully adopted, we were retired. Yes? Now, the speed is incredible. It took 76 years for electricity to be adopted in a good chunk of American households. It took 43 years for the refrigerator, 27 years for the microwave, 6 years for the internet, 4 years for smartphones, 2 years for social media. Do you see a pattern? Change is not slowing. And if a generation, especially the younger half of millennials, have grown up in disruption, that's the only norm to them, that's an asset to your business. That is an asset to this world. And yes, we have something that younger people don't have. We have wisdom, which is simply time plus mistakes. And you have to honor that both ways. The disruption side here, the wisdom side here, and combine, you are unstoppable, but we don't combine it, we fight it. We yearn for the old days. We literally yearn. I hate that word. We yearn for, what was around 40 years ago that we do not have today you wish we had? Polio? Like, what is not here? What are you missing? I don't understand it. It's better now. It's called progress. But we hate it. We hate it because it's not just reserved based on tenure. The longer you lasted, the more knowledgeable and the more vaulted you were in the industry. Now these jackasses in their hoodies and their man buns come flying in on their scooters. Like, what do you have to, no, billion-dollar company. You're like, what just happened? Industries are being done like this now. It's no longer asking permission. They're not even asking for forgiveness. They're like, screw you. You know the entire scooter industry, the rental scooters? Anybody have these in their cities? The Bird and the Lime and the Lyft scooters? This is how it works. This is this whole industry. Somebody's like, we should do scooter rentals by the minute, electric scooters. Let's do that. They drive into a city and just go, and throw down 200 scooters and are like, take care, and they walk away. I'm sorry, they scoot away. Like, you can't get me. And the city's like, hey, Brad, do you know what these scooters are? He's like, no, but somebody just picked one up. He's got a handlebar mustache. He's flying down the street in it. I'm like, hey, you stop. What do you want? And you keep going, and then you call the company. Hey, this is LA. Yeah, it's LA calling, just the city, yes. Why is there 200 scooters of your company? Like, oh, that's our bad. We can come get them. They're like, well, no, everybody's riding them now. So we confiscated them. We're going to fine you $10,000. Yeah, I'm sorry, we'll pay that. We just got VC funding for $400 million. Yeah, we can pay that. Now, we need to do this right. Yes, of course, of course. We can put them out next week, but you have to follow these rules. You got it. 2 weeks. You know how long it would take to propose a new permit for a new industry in any city? Look, try and change the brand of coffee in your house. That ain't gonna fly, let alone an entire city's way of transportation. So instead of 7 years, they just went poof and drove away. That describes disruption. Warby Parker, the founders of Warby Parker, the glasses company, one of the most successful glass company now out there, were 2 pissed off customers. They weren't in the industry. They're like, this is ridiculous. Should we start our own? Yeah. And then they did. I'm leaving out a few parts, but you know what I'm saying. Disruption happens outside of an industry usually because we're not willing to look at it inside. We're too busy protecting the walls to realize they've all come around back and they couldn't care less about our castle. They're actually just going to keep going. That's what happens with disruption. That's how this world moves. And we don't think about that. We don't realize that that is an asset to it. We put job ads out that say we want people at entry level, jobs that are really aimed at younger people sometimes. They're gonna be a part-time clerk in our store. And we're like, you must show initiative. And then when they open their mouth, you know what we should do? You're like, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. When the actual innovation only happens through insubordination. Insubordination is simply innovation is being insubordinate to a current idea or construct. That's a good thing. But every time somebody brings a new idea because they're younger, we're threatened. It's not the way it works now. It's not the way it works. Age has got to be the driver's license number. It's only valid on that, and it doesn't matter anything else. There should be this mutual side of things where the idea is what's important, not the other way around. I used to hire for retail. I used to be in HR. If you can believe that. I didn't last very long. I had to get out of HR because I realized I hate people. It was a bad profession I was in. We used to hire for retail, and I put job ads out for our senior, somebody full-time. I don't know what you call your senior person in a store, like the senior key holder, Palpatine, whatever they're called in the store. And I put out, you must have 3 to 5 years retail experience. Do you know why I put 3 to 5 years retail in the ad? I don't know why I put 3 to 5 years retail, except every other job ad said 3 to 5 years experience. I don't know the difference between 3 years experience in retail and 5 years experience in retail. I don't know the difference between 1 year retail experience and 8 years, except the person with 8 years retail experience hates humans more than the person with 1 year experience. Now that's science, right? That's just straight science right there, folks. Understanding that there's a value in this, though, and I want to hire people who give a damn about music and about the customers. Not because you've worked somewhere else and you lasted for a certain amount of time. Just still surviving should not be a qualification for a job somewhere. We have three types of customers in this world: ecstatic, static, and vulnerable. Ecstatic ones are the ones who just come into the store, see what you got new, what's going on, maybe chat it up a bit, play smoke on the water a little bit, you kick them out again, right? Don't do it, don't do it. Static are the ones who have come by your place or ordered it either online or at the store, and they're there, but they have no loyalty. It was just there because it was out of convenience. And vulnerable are the ones who had a poor experience and they were probably out the door. What's the most vulnerable part here? What's the worst third? It's static. It's the F word of your industry. That's fine. Did you find, how did everything go today? Fine. Nobody's fine. Nothing's fine. That's a great get me out of this conversation closer. How many of you have teenagers? Anybody have teenagers at home? Anybody? So when you ask them how school was, what do they say? Fine. That's code for, I just bought a bag of heroin. And I'm gonna go to my room. Yeah, I'm not telling you what happened, fine. We wanna find these things out. And this is the life, we call this the pulse of your customers, and it goes up and down. This isn't their lifespan, this could be a week. It goes up and down, up and down. Every phone call, every email, every dropping into a store, that's up or down. It's a pivot point, you choose. And sometimes it goes wrong, and it comes out in a review, and they're ripping on you. They're ripping the store, they're ripping your life's work, and your only thought in your head is murder. Right? You see a bad review about a store, and you're like, one of two things happens here. They're lying, or they're a competitor. There's no ever thought of actually this happened. Psychologists have a term called the service recovery paradox, which says if you fix a problem that has been brought up by a customer and you fix it to or above their satisfaction, they will think even better of the brand than they did before the problem happened. Does that make sense? You'll create a more loyal customer, a higher spending customer, if you screw up and fix it. We can't stop screw-ups. So when these bad reviews come up, this is Monica. She left a 1-star review for an Ashley home furniture store in Texas. Now, here's the thing. The store was great. Furniture was great. Picked out a whole living room set. Salesperson was awesome. Pricing was fair. She ordered it all and went home. What do you think happened next? The delivery. Wrong day. Wrong time. Wrong furniture. It was the wrong color, and the delivery driver said, and I quote, looks close enough. Yeah, you're not helping. And the delivery driver was a jerk. And by the way, the furniture was broken. It was chipped. Ta-da! And here's the rub. The delivery company wasn't part of Ashley Home Furniture Store. It was a third-party delivery company. Who gets the bad review? The store does, Ashley Home Furniture Store does. So the owner gets this review, and she started this review by saying, if I could give this store 0 stars, I would. Which, as you know, is not a great way to start a review. And the owner gets it. He has Yelp for Business, the app on his phone, and it buzzed. So he felt the review. And he opened it, and he saw this, and his reaction was, no. No, no, no. Unawesome is unacceptable. And he phoned her, and he fixed it. And she went back and revised her review. It never happens. And she revised it. And she says, after my scathing Yelp review, I was immediately, and I mean immediately, contacted by the owner. Ben is courteous, professional, and kind. He followed up with everything he stated he was going to do very promptly. His apology felt sincere, and because of him, I don't think I'd hesitate to shop at one of Ashley's stores he owns. Would you shop here if you read this? I would. I think it's better than a blanket 5-star review, yes? You can't stop problems. You can't. And when customers complain, especially online, what they're looking for first and foremost is validation. Validation they've been heard, because up to this point they have not. To be great at service in retail, you only have to be average, because everybody else sucks. That should be the slogan for NAMM next year. NAMM, suck less. No charge. No charge for that. You run with that. Hashtag suck less. That might not be a good hashtag. I would research the hashtag first and then reconvene and present your research. All right. All right, anyway, so my favorite review of all time, my only one-star review that would make me want to eat somewhere was Taco Santo in New York, and Russ writes, the entire kitchen and wait staff saw an ice cream truck and ran outside, leaving me alone in the restaurant. 10 minutes later, they came back with an ice cream cone. I still can't believe this actually happened. Why 1 star? Because they didn't give him an ice cream cone, obviously. So we look at this and we give these first impressions. We give these impressions of stores and you deal with different ones and we have different competition out there. And so I am not, I told you, I'm not a musician. So I don't go to music stores a lot, try out instruments and see what's out there. It's not my thing. This is my thing. And the mics are always provided for me, so I don't have to go buy them or go or look at them. So we decided we'd do some recordings of some of our show at home, and we needed kind of a mic setup. A couple mics with the cord doohickeys. You know what they're called, right? Those things? Is that the official term, doohickeys? And it plugs into a, whatever that is, and then the USB goes into the computer, and then you get, it's all, I studied up for the event. And so our sound guy, our audio guy for our show, Wayne, said, here's the setup. He picked it out for us. He's like, go to a store, and it's a store in Toronto. It's a chain of stores that I've known since elementary school, because that's where our school rented our instruments from. Long and McQuaid, exactly. So I wasn't going to name them, but thank you. And so I go, and I said, okay, cool. And he actually picked out all the SKUs for me. It was perfect. So I just went, and I had never ordered anything online from Long and McQuaid. I've never done that. And I went on there, I'm like, awesome. I'm like, I could go to Amazon, but I'm not going to, because it's all there for me, perfect. Maybe the shipping's gonna be a couple of bucks, that's okay. Go on there, click, 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 add it all, whoosh, check out. Do you want shipping insurance? I'm like, that's weird. No. Then a pop-up comes. Hey, you sure you don't want shipping insurance? Because once it leaves our warehouse, we are no longer responsible for it. I'm like, what, is this the mob? It'd be a shame if something happened to your microphones. Just pay us 10% and we'll protect it. Maybe your just falls off the truck. Hey, it's not my problem. No, I know, it's a terrible impression of the mob, I'm sorry. But the point is, that made me say, why am I buying this from here? Shipping insurance? Sorry? You're not responsible for it anymore? What? And we look at it and say, Amazon, damn it, they're killing us. Maybe we also contribute to that a little bit? A little bit. They're a juggernaut, I know. They have no care of profit, I know. But sometimes, I'm on your site and I'm checking out, and that, for an extra 11 bucks you want, is shipping insurance. And now I went and looked elsewhere. That's not going to show up in an annual report. It's not going to show up in the industry newspaper, is it? Sometimes we do it. Not always, but sometimes it's us. Here's an example. This is a video, an undercover video I filmed. I blurred out the store name. I don't want to get into trouble. So this is over 10 years ago now, and I went to the company's website, and Sam Walton had I just gave it away. Sam Walton had a quote, and his #1 quote on the Walmart website was the creed of Walmart. It was the 10-foot rule. If a customer comes within 10 feet of an associate, they will stop what they're doing and greet the customer and ask how they can help them. And I'm like, huh, that's funny. We have a Walmart 4 blocks from our house. We have 5 kids. We're there every 5 hours. Not only has no associate ever said hello to me, associate has never said hello to me, the greeter doesn't greet me. Which, if you look at the job description, is number 1 is greet customer, number 2 is C1. That's it. So I took a camera, back in the old day, I had a camera, I put it in a shopping cart. Nobody would bust me because nobody is looking at me. And I wandered the store and had a counter in the top corner, 0 for 1, 0 for 2. I passed 17 employees, 2 of them twice. And I sped it up 4 times speed. I put Lionel Richie Hello as the soundtrack. And I uploaded it to YouTube. And it went pretty nuts. Back then, 250,000 views was viral. Now it's like a sneeze. But back then, it was huge. And I only posted it to 2 places. I wasn't even on Twitter then. I posted it to 2 places. A WalmartSucks.com forum and a Walmart employees forum. They're the ones that made it go viral, by the way. They made it go viral. So that was perfect. And it went nuts. And so I read the comments. Don't do that. I read the comments, and one person said, no wonder they're not saying hi to you. You're running through the store. I sped the video. I'm not answering a YouTube comment. I'm not. You start that, and it's all over. So I spoke at Walmart 2 years ago at their head office in Bentonville, Arkansas. They brought me in. I'm like, have you seen the video? I'm like, yeah, it's hilarious. It's not funny. And I went, I told everybody about it on stage, and they're all like, yeah, we know. And you want to do what? I can't see it. It's 4.5 minutes of me wandering a store. But you can look it up. Just the 10-foot rule myth of, and figure out what store it is. So I'm at their head office, and they're all like, yeah, we know. And that was it, by the way. It wasn't, yeah, we know, we're working on it. Yeah, we know, we strive to do better. It's like, yep. That was it. They're almost proud of it. And then I have the opposite. So, you guys have Lush? You've been to Lush? Yeah? Awesome. You're clapping for it. That's a dedicated place of soap. So Lush is a soap store, right? A fresh handmade cosmetic store. I don't shop there. Look at this. I don't bathe for the most part. So I go to I do an undercover sting operation. This is a long time ago, and I went to a mall west of Toronto called Square One, and I went to it. I went on Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning. What's it like at 10:30 in the morning in retail on Tuesday? It's dead, right? So I'm thinking, I'm going to be the one person in the mall. I just have to dodge a few mall walkers. Much those fanny packs can just really jab you. And I'm walking around the store. Nobody cared about the fanny pack joke. Cool. All right. And I go around, and you figured you'd be treated the best because there's nobody else in the store. And what I got treated as was an interruption. You know this feeling, right? Right, there's 2 reactions when somebody comes into a store, right? It's either it's like, how you doing? Or it's, yes. Customers do not want to be treated like an interruption. If I choose to move my 2 feet into your retail location, frickin' doves should fall out of the sky. You came! What? Come in, come in, come in, come in. Do you want coffee, tea? What do you want? I can't believe. Do you know about the internet? No? Cool, come on here. And we walk them around, and we should love them. So I went 22 stores being treated like crap, and I was about to leave, and I walked into my last store, and it was Lush. And I walked in, I'm like, there's so much lavender. And I walk in, and the woman behind the cash register is like, hi! And I'm just, hello. She's like, first time here? I'm like, first time here? And I'm like, is it? How could you tell? She's like, let me give you a tour. And she gives me a tour like it's the White House. It's 9 square feet. This is bath bombs and bath salts. Do you take baths? No, I don't take baths. Well, you can have baths. You can soap by the pound. You can buy the... I walked out with $79 worth of soap, which equals my entire spend of my life in soap. I have 1 bar of soap I got on my 16th birthday. Still works. And I got home, the wife's like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know. But I'm gonna go take a bath. Passion plus knowledge equals profit in retail. End of equation. I hope the people working with you and for you are more passionate about music than anybody who walks into that door, because it's contagious. It's contagious. Somebody comes in for their first guitar, you need to be excited for that. When one of our kids, Ben, went to Steve's Music in Toronto for his first guitar, they all played guitar for him. It was a big applause thing. You ring a bell, they were excited, and they will never forget that. Your passion is contagious. And if you've lost some of that passion, catch it back by who you bring on, who works with you, who works for you. Because otherwise, it's just a loss like that. It doesn't work well. I'll give an example. Sometimes we're better virtually sometimes. Okay, I'm trying to give you all facets of what's happening with this world. So virtually, you have some places that are really good online or Twitter or something, and they're not as great in store. So our two oldest, a couple years ago, both wanted Beats by Dre headphones for Christmas. And I'm like, hey, if you want to overpay for mediocre headphones, I'm in. Yeah, let's do this. That was a very uncomfortable laugh right there. Okay. They're sponsoring the talk. Okay, good. He's good, he's sold. So, I'm like, okay, they saved up gift cards. They saved up gift cards, they saved up Best Buy gift cards and cash and Visa gift cards. And we drive out to Best Buy, but ahead of time, I checked. They were in stock. They wanted a bright orange and a neon green. Millennials. And we go in and we walk by and we're walking through the store. I know the store well. I grab an impulse copy of RoboCop 2 Blu-ray because why would you not grab that? Of course I am. Buy that for $1. 30% of you are now my best friend. The rest of you, shame on you. Go watch the movie. So I'm walking through and we found the section. We're like, nice, this is gonna be 2 minutes. In and out, great, nice margin for them, perfect. We walk in and they're locked in a glass case. And I understand they're 40 grand a piece. Like these things are expensive, right? So it's like, okay, well, we want them. They're green, orange, right there, cool. Can somebody open the case? That's the exact sound. Nothing, just tumbleweeds. And I'm like, hey, anybody? And you just see a couple people walking by. One guy has a headset, I swear to God, it wasn't plugged in. He's like, looking busy, I'm looking busy. Some dude had a clipboard, nothing on it. I gotta go do a thing. Nobody's helping me. There's 14 employees in the cell phone section, but there's a moat around them. They can't leave the cell phone section. They have different colored polo shirts on in there. And so 5 minutes go by. It doesn't seem like long, but when you're standing there with two teenagers, their patience is even shorter than yours. 5 minutes go by and nothing. So I do the only thing any sane adult would do that has a set of vocals, and I yodel. I can project. That's one of my talents. I have a voice that can carry. So when you go, I don't know if you've ever seen teenagers sprint away from you, but the children have never moved faster. And I saw 12 heads go up from the aisles like gophers with Best Buy tags. And I'm like, oh, 12 more weeks of winter. All right. And nobody comes after the yodel. So I do what any good social media diva would do. I sent a tweet. And I said, no wonder, and I was upset, so I took a low blow. And I said, no wonder Best Buy is losing market share to Amazon and to showrooming. I'm standing in their store, and I can't give them my money because nobody will open the case. In 47 seconds, Best Buy's head office in Minneapolis, somebody there replies to my tweet in 46 seconds and says, I'm so sorry about this, Scott. What can we do? And I'm like, open the case! Can you do it from there? Can I flip it? Can I open the, no? All right. And then we walked out. I put my copy of RoboCop 2 down. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, dead or alive, you're coming with me? And then it didn't. And we walked out and we drove to the Apple store. And to screw Best Buy over, we didn't even use the gift cards, which I realized later was not screwing them over. They had the money. It was on principle. We walked into the Apple store, didn't even see a retail employee, use the app, we stole them. We walked out with them, we scanned it with the Apple Store app, bloop, bloop, walked out. Well, wait, got a loan first, then bought them, then walked out. That'll never come up in their annual report. That'll never come up in their meeting. That yes, showrooming happens. Yes, people come into your store, look at something, and then go, okay, cool, thanks, and order it. I understand it. But sometimes, just sometimes, it's us. Sometimes, maybe, and I'm stretching here, but if my feet are in your store, and I choose to work with another company somewhere else, virtually, maybe sometimes it always hasn't gone as well as it could have in the store. We have to be able to look in a mirror and say, if I say I'm part of the problem, that's good because then I can help fix it. And if it's always a big box store problem, or it's Amazon's problem, or it's somebody else's problem, there's nothing we can do but die. Yes, we can't control it. We're screwed. Or we can say music is emotion, music is experience. We are part of that experience, and therefore that is contagious. And you determine what that's going to be. Thank you, NAMM. Take care.